All right, friends, welcome back to our 7-part mini lessons on why emotional intelligence is such a big deal for your child and how it will help your child reach the level that you and they want it to be. So, my friends, let's get into the third lesson. And the third lesson is motivation. Now, motivation is something that seems, like I said before, very general. But when you break down motivation, it really is a huge part of a child's success. Because what you want to do is you want to make sure that you start out extrinsically. Extrinsically is things that happen outside of them. They're going to be rewards. They're going to be compliments. They are going to be the ice cream or the extra dinner out or the snack. Something that is going to allow them to see that these are the type of skills and these are the type of actions that are going to make their life better. And you're going to reinforce them. When you reinforce these types of good choices and good behaviors, it's going to motivate them to do it again. Anytime when you positively reinforce a positive behavior, you are then going to show them that this is the type of thing that's going to help them in the future. And obviously, you're going to want to have consequences for those actions that go against that. And this is a great way, a very basic but great way to show your child that they're going in the right direction. And that is something that I think cannot be overstated, that you have to start extrinsically, because a child is just not going to do it because that's what they should do. So many times in education, why would they study for a test? There's really no benefit to them other than a couple things that you can show them. Number one is that you have already, hopefully, shown that education is important to you, that you are holding education as a priority. I've said time and time again, the number one predictor of a child's success in school is the priority that the parent puts on education. If you're modeling this for them, that might be enough to get them to the next level. But a lot of times kids need extrinsic things. They need that reward. They need that goodie. They need that positive praise. And it's something that you are going to need to practice. You want to be specific. You want it to be something that they're going to enjoy. And this is something that's going to, once again, help them get down the right path. Now, eventually, when they start seeing that they are, wow, look at all these great things that I'm getting. Look at all the positive praise and my parents and my grandparents, my aunts and uncles are really complimenting me on the things that I'm doing. You're going to start seeing like, wow, they're themselves are going to say, you know what? I really am a great student. Wow, I really am a great soccer player. Man, I really am a great communicator. All of these things, I really like the way that you negotiated at that garage sale. I'm a great negotiator. All of these things happen through constant praise and constant practice. And when they start to feel intrinsically that that's who they are, that's when it really, really becomes a slam dunk. That's where all of your hard work and helping with the motivation is something that's really, really going to make a huge difference and set your child up for amazing success that a lot of people don't have. Another one that's extremely beneficial is once you get through the motivation, because motivation only takes them so far, then we need to start talking about discipline. Discipline is something where we are doing hard things because it is necessary for our future success. And this is something that's really, really difficult to teach until they have that intrinsic identification that that's who they are. I am a great student. I am a great negotiator. I am somebody who asks for what I want. I'm a person that's a good communicator. A lot of times it's very, very difficult to get into discipline if they haven't understood and identified with that particular emotion or identification of themselves to then start with doing some of these hard things to help amplify that identity that they already have. And so this is something where we have to start teaching them that discipline is the true key to success. this is the next level, and that you have to start doing hard things because it's going to benefit you, that identity that you have, that goal that you have, so that it allows you to start moving in the direction that you want to be in the long term, because eventually motivation is going to go away. The ice cream is not going to be as a big deal for them, or the positive praise is not going to be as big a deal with them. Eventually that's going to fade away, and motivation is going to take a second back seat to the discipline that occurs to continue throughout the long haul. So what you're going to have to start doing is help your child practice these hard things, and make them understand that this discipline, this routine that you're setting up, hopefully that you're helping them with a routine, and a lot of these routines will help them practice this discipline, which in turn will build up the momentum and allow these routines to stick. And once the routine is stuck, then that's where the beauty occurs. And then we can get into this next thing, which is setting goals. Once they have their motivation down and you've built this intrinsic identity, then they can start working on their discipline and building the routines, and start putting these discipline into practice and practicing these hard things. Then we can start setting goals. And once the goals are set up, you can say, this is what we're shooting for. This is where these routines and this discipline is going to really, really pay off. And we don't stop the positive reinforcement. We don't stop giving them the motivation, the intrinsic, but yet exactly the extrinsic as well. We still positively reinforce them throughout this whole process, because it's still something that we want them to enjoy and to keep going and move toward. And eventually the goals will be their reward. Their successes will be their rewards. But until they get there, we want to keep all the processes going. We want to keep everything we can going to help lead them in the right direction. And this is where motivation, discipline, and goal setting is really going to take your child to the next level. And they're going to see successes that it's very difficult to find without it. All right, my friends, we've finished with the third lesson. Let's move on to the next one in just a little bit.